If you're in the market for a flagship smartphone with the best processor, the best hardware, and the best display, the Pixel 7 Pro is not it. You see, this isn't a phone that's going to wow you on paper with all of its internal specs. This is an underappreciated flagship made by Google for the masses. It's very similar to its predecessor, the Pixel 6 Pro, but with a lot of refined software improvements and updated hardware. I've been daily driving the Pixel 7 Pro over the past 4 months as my go-to Android device, and this is my long-term review. How's it going, everyone? My name is RJ, and just like the rest of you, us tech enthusiasts out there have a big question lingering in our minds right now. And that question is whether or not the Pixel 7 Pro is a better buy than the new S23 Ultra. Well, let's talk about it in this video from a Pixel lover's point of view. I've been using Pixel devices ever since the original Pixel, and these are my honest thoughts. In the hands, the Pixel 7 Pro is a very comfortable phone, one of the most ergonomic feeling phones I have ever used. And a key reason for that can be seen in the size of the side profile. The back glass curves and perfectly aligns with the frame, while the display curves into the frame, leaving a smooth edge and a premium feel. Despite the Pixel 7 Pro weighing over 200 grams, it somehow feels very light in the hands. Over on the back, there is a metal camera bar, a singular piece of metal that wraps around the frame with the rest of the phone. Initially, I wasn't a big fan of this change. I do prefer the look of the Pixel 6 Pro's camera arrangement, but over the course of 4 months, this metal frame has really grown on me. To me, it's these subtle little things about the Pixel 7 Pro that comes together to make this phone such an exceptional device. We all know that Google isn't really known for their stellar hardware, but with the Pixel 7 Pro, they knocked it out of the park with what really matters to users. Ergonomics wise, you won't find a better feeling phone than this one. The display isn't the best in class, but it's more than adequate enough for my use case. The Pixel 7 Pro is rocking a 120Hz LTPO 1440p OLED display with a peak brightness of 1600 nits. The display curves ever so slightly over the edges, very much like the S23 Ultra. The S23 Ultra does have the more flatter display out of the two, and my preference has always been a flat display like what's found on every single iPhone. Practicality wise, a flat display is the way to go, but aesthetically there's no denying it, a curved display has no competition. Embedded under the display is an optical fingerprint scanner. I would have loved to see a top-of-the-line Google phone with an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, but no dice this year. That's not to say that this fingerprint scanner isn't reliable. It's a very reliable fingerprint sensor that works flawlessly. Although I will say it does take a good second for your fingerprint to scan and then get into your phone. With phones such as the S23 Ultra, the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner is much quicker and much more secure. Now, don't get me wrong, this is one of the better 1440 displays I've ever tested. Historically, with their Pixel displays, Google has leaned in on accuracy over vibrancy. Understandably, many people in turn might associate color accuracy with a lack of vibrancy, but the two are not mutually exclusive. This phone has excellent color accuracy and precision. Even at minimum peak brightness, the shadow tone is excellent, especially in natural mode, and there are significant improvements to HDR video playback throughout the entire OS. I've noticed a marked improvement over the Pixel 6 Pro's display when using the Pixel 7 Pro outdoors. With the Pixel 7 Pro, I've noticed that there is a smooth transition when the high brightness mode does enable, which was previously not found on the Pixel 6 Pro. So once again, we start to notice these subtle little improvements on this phone that come together to make this phone a very big improvement. Now, you might be asking yourself, with the improved brightness and better HDR capabilities, how's the battery life been? The battery life has been surprising. We'll talk a bit more about the battery life a bit later in the video. Also, if you are enjoying this video thus far and you do want to help support the channel, all you gotta do is drop a like on this video. It does help out a ton. And while you're at it, make sure you do subscribe to the channel for a lot more Pixel 7 Pro content just like this. This year on the Pixel 7 Pro, Google gifted us with the Tensor G2 chipset. Despite Tensor being built on the Exynos platform, it's more than adequate enough for a vast majority of users. Now, if you specifically want to buy a phone to play high-end mobile games, then buying a gaming-oriented phone like the ROG phone makes a lot of sense. A dedicated gaming phone will meet your needs much better than a Pixel, Galaxy, or even an iPhone. What Google is trying to do with the Pixel lineup is trying to provide the best experience for the general consumer. Pixel devices shine in things like fluidity, rendering, and voice dictation. Pretty much anything that has to do with machine learning or Google Assistant, this phone has got you covered. Over the course of the past 4 months, the combination of the Tensor G2 chipset and 12GB of RAM has been fantastic. Long gone are the days of Android phones slowing down over time. In fact, the Pixel 7 Pro feels a lot smoother than the first day I got this device. And that's just a testament to the great software updates we've gotten over time. The combination of a better chipset, a better modem, and excellent software optimization give you such a fluid OS experience that you really can't find on any other smartphone. With the Pixel 6 Pro, many of us had issues early on, and a ton ton of bugs. But what many people fail to discuss is that over time with software updates, Google ironed out pretty much all the bugs and you were left with one of the best Android devices money could buy. But of course, many reviewers don't do long-term reviews and they wrote off the Pixel 6 Pro as a buggy device early on. If you guys want to watch my long-term review on the Pixel 6 Pro and just how much it improved over time, I'll leave a link for you guys to that video in the description below. A low-key improvement that I've noticed on the Pixel 7 Pro over the past 4 months is just how much more efficient it is now when it comes to AI features. Machine learning capabilities is now 60% faster and 20% more efficient on this phone compared to the Pixel 6 Pro, and it really does show in day-to-day usage. Some of my favorite Pixel features trickle down to the Pixel 7 Pro. With this phone, I never have to wait on hold. The phone is smart enough to alert me when a human answers the phone. I can get my phone to make reservations at a restaurant without ever talking to a human. I can screen incoming calls, which drives people insane on the other end. I always know the name of that catchy song playing in a restaurant thanks to not playing. I can erase unwanted objects in pictures just by drawing a circle around it, and the AI does an incredible job at making the erased object look realistic. And this has to be one of my favorite features on the Pixel 7 Pro. It's smart enough to suggest quick rotations when you have your phone locked in portrait orientation, which I almost always do. Let's not forget about the Google Assistant. I use Google Assistant every opportunity I get. Usually when I'm driving and I have a thought or question that pops up into my head, I can just say the magic words, "Hey." The assistant will pop up and I can get my questions answered. All of this while I'm driving and my phone is being wirelessly charged in my car. An entirely hands-free experience. And the thing is, unlike other voice assistant like Bixby or Siri, Google Assistant is actually smart enough to understand what I'm asking, no matter how fast, slow, or awkward I sound when I talk. The Google Assistant has no issues with comprehension. Features embedded within Google Assistant like continued conversation are also very useful. It takes away the need for me to say, "Hey," every time I want to continue or expand upon a question. If you're looking to pull up with the smartest smartphone in the room, then the Pixel 7 Pro is the way to go. With all of that being said, that's not even my favorite feature on this phone. I'll talk about my favorite feature on this phone in just a little bit. So as you guys can probably tell, it's the little things like these AI features that really separates the Pixel experience from any other smartphone currently available on the market. I am a big believer in smartphone haptics. I feel like internal vibration motors can either break or make your smartphone experience. And on the Pixel 7 Pro, the haptics have certainly been taken up a notch. Incoming vibrations on this phone are subtle yet very well refined. Every single vibration has purpose, with a noticeable improvement in haptics over the Pixel 6 Pro, and definitely much better haptics than what's found on Samsung flagships. The speakers on the 7 Pro aren't the greatest. They sound alright in most conditions, but at times they can sound a bit tinny. Take a listen for yourself and let me know what you think about the speaker setup. In my experience, the battery life has gotten significantly better over the course of 4 months. Initially, when I set up this device, I got anywhere between 5.5 to 6 hours of screen on time. And keep in mind, this is on a 5G network for about 80% of my day. These days, through software updates and the Pixel learning my daily user habits, I can easily average anywhere around 7.5 to 8 hours of screen on time. This is once again on a 5G network. To me, in my opinion, this is some excellent battery life. It's important to keep in mind that I'm not doing anything crazy on my phone. It's just the regular everyday adulting stuff with some gaming in between. In the morning, before the workday begins, I'm usually in my car checking up on business emails, scrolling through Twitter to catch up on daily events, and I usually do scroll through TikTok for a total of about an hour. All of this while drinking my morning coffee. Now, this is where my favorite feature on this phone is putting in work. Voice to text dictation on this phone is absolutely insane. Yes, I totally get it. Your Samsung, your iPhone does have this feature, but it's not nearly to the same level of accuracy or speed like what's found on the Pixel 7 Pro. I quite literally never have to type on this device. The voice to text dictation on this phone I find is more efficient than me typing. All of my tweets, business emails, and text messages are all done using this phone's voice to text dictation. During the workday, my phone is usually out of sight up until my lunch break, which is around 12 p.m, where I'll play a few games of League of Legends Wild Rift to pass the time. Easily my favorite mobile game. If you guys haven't played it, I do highly recommend it. On a typical day, I get home around 5 p.m. with around 50% battery remaining. I'll catch up on a few episodes of my favorite Netflix shows. Currently, I'm really loving The Glory on Netflix. It's a Korean show about a girl who gets revenge on 5 high school bullies who made her childhood an absolute nightmare. It's a very good show. I do highly recommend you guys watch it. Around 8 p.m, I filmed some short form content for YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, all on the Pixel 7 Pro's front-facing camera. And this is the kind of quality that you can expect with a professional lighting setup on this phone. So this is the type of quality that you guys can expect from the Pixel 7 Pro's front-facing camera if you are using a professional lighting setup. Typically around 9 p.m. it's time to charge my Pixel 7 Pro. Now this phone doesn't really support fast charging, but the charging speeds are good enough for me to get by. A major selling point for the Pixel 7 Pro has to be this incredibly versatile camera setup. We have an updated 50 megapixel main lens, a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto, and a wider 12 megapixel ultra wide. The main sensor takes excellent photos with high dynamic range and a natural depth of field. I love taking pictures on this phone, and I'm not someone that I would say takes a lot of pictures. But with the Pixel 7 Pro, you feel as if you want to capture every moment. And that's just a testament to how good this main sensor actually is. I find it to be a better shooter than my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it probably edges out the S23 Ultra by just a bit. The telephoto lens is also great. You get a 12 megapixel crop in the middle of the frame for a high quality zoom. At 10x, you also get a 12 megapixel crop of the middle of the telephoto. And thanks to machine learning and great software optimization, these zoom images came out fantastic. If you're looking for a smartphone that gives you top of the heat super fast shutter speed that captures those exact moments, then look no further than the Pixel 7 Pro. On the video front, this phone isn't the greatest. It still can't compete with iPhone level video quality, but as you guys can see for yourself, the quality has definitely improved. You can shoot up to 10-bit HDR video, but as you take a closer look at this footage, you start to notice a certain level of noise being introduced. I've really been enjoying using the Pixel 7 Pro as my daily driver over the past few months. This phone is unmatched when it comes to fluidity, cameras, and machine learning capabilities. It's truly the smartest smartphone that you will ever use, and the price to performance ratio on this phone is well worth it. I think in some markets right now, you can pick it up for as low as $800. That significantly undercuts the price of the new S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'll drop some affiliate links for you guys in the description below if you are interested in checking out the latest prices. With the Pixel 7 Pro, you get first day software updates, an excellent camera system, and the best voice to text dictation found on any smartphone. If you guys enjoyed this video and you did make it till the end, drop a dolphin emoji down in the comments below so I know exactly who you guys are. As always, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you guys do tune in next week for my initial thoughts on the newly released S23 Ultra. That should be a good one.